Hello and welcome to Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein tonight, and we'll be talking Egypt's transition to a sustainable energy future, a very important topic and one of the main priorities of the new republic, reducing carbon and carbon cost while producing sustainable, reliable as well as affordable power is considered to be one of the universal targets that every country is actually working hard in order to achieve. And as the world's energy sector is moving away from the fossil fuels towards renewable energy sources, the countries today are challenged with addressing this transition, but addressing it in transformative ways. And that upon the Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egypt is today stepping up this transition to clean energy as a part of the vision of 2030. A very important vision that aims at achieving this sense of diversified, competitive, as well as balanced economy within the framework of sustainable development. And in that context, we're really honored to have with us tonight Professor Dr. Mohamed Khayat, who is the head of the New and Renewable Energy Authority. Dr. Khayat, thank you so much for coming to Nile TV tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, together we'll be reading this headline, Egypt's transition to sustainable energy future. This is our future. And that's why the vision of the president came in upon his directives that we make this transformation as soon as possible. So how do you see this vision as implemented? And you are our guest of honor tonight and in charge of following up on the implementation.
To get the differences between what has been before the 2014 and the current status, I think we can back in a glance for the past and look for the renewable energy in Egypt. Almost the renewable energy in Egypt started, if we back for the pharaonic era, we will see that there is a close relation with the sun, and also the what we can say the natural elements which could give us the strong tie between the Egyptian or the pharaonic the old Egyptians and also the sun and the moon and something like this. When we go to the recent years, we can say that starting from the 1960s, starting from the high dam project and having such a project with its challenges, to have a project with this volume for generating electricity from renewable source, which is hydro. In addition to that, the concentration for the solar and wind resources. Wind and solar, Egypt started almost by the 1986, and we can say that the starting point was with pilot projects and the resource assessment to understand the technologies, to build the capacity building and to check which technology could be the best fit for the country and something like this. After that, Egypt moved into the commercial projects, which started with Za'farana wind complex near to Sokhna, with around 8 projects. All of them is around 540 megawatt. In addition to the Gulf of Suez, Gulf of Zayt wind complex with almost the same capacity. After that, and by the year 2014, we have a political will. And this political will have been addressed through issuing the first renewable energy acting law, the law 203 by the year 2014. By this law, we have a clear role for the public sector, represented by the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy, the role for the Egyptian Electricity Transmission Company, and for sure for the New and Renewable Energy Authority. In addition to that, the relation between the public sector and the private sector. Private sector represented by investors, either local, international, and how could they implement their projects through different through different schemes represented by feed-in tariff, build on operate, independent power producers, and something like this.
Yeah.
And based on this law, which issued by the year 2014, we have a frugally for renewable energy projects in Egypt. When we compare between the capacities already installed from the early days of Egypt until the year 2014, we will find that the projects already installed within the last 4 or 5 years almost with the same capacity with which already installed during the last 30 or 40 years. This represents the political will, the direction for His Excellency Mr. President to maximize the benefit for natural resources. How could we maximize the role for renewable energy represented by wind and solar, in addition to the waste to energy too? And based on this, we have Benban Solar Complex, we have Gulf of Suez Wind Energy Complex, in addition to different projects already now either already installed or under the development.
Yes, we will be talking about those projects in details and how Egypt has moved forward in that respect, and also differentiating, because we hear a lot the terms like clean energy and renewable energy. What is the difference, and where are we today from the implementation of this trend, plus of course that we are working according to standards, international standards of such projects being also environmentally friendly, which is also very important. We were talking even before the interview, Dr. Mohamed, about how the authority and the Ministry of Environment are working hand in hand also in that respect. Short break, and we will be back to read more on the features of the new republic and with Egypt's transition to sustainable energy and the future, which is a very important topic tonight.
مصر فيها 100 مليون. مصر كمان مساحتها 1,000,000 كيلومتر مربع. بس في حجم ضخم جدا من الأراضي احنا مش عايشين عليه. ما خدناش بالنا على مدى 60-70 سنة فاتوا إن الكلام ده هيبقى ليه تأثير كبير جدا وخطير على حياتنا ومستقبلنا. لكن احنا مش سايبين لا القاهرة ولا اسكندرية ولا بورسعيد ولا المحافظات، بنتحرك في كل القديم والجديد مع بعض عشان يليق بينا ويليق بالمصريين يعني. الموضوع مش مباني بس، لا، ده تطور كبير قوي احنا بنعمله. فأرجو ان احنا نستعد مفكرين، مثقفين، فنانين. هذا الحدث الكبير ميلاد دولة جديدة بافتتاح العاصمة الجديدة. ميلاد دولة جديدة. إعلان جمهورية تانية.
Yes, renewable energy, and as the President had said it is a new republic. It's the birth of a new republic that has definitely different features. And renewable energy today is providing real benefit for the environment from the natural resources like sunlight, like wind, and like water. And many people, Dr. Mohamed, usually online, they are also asking this question: how can we differentiate between what we call green energy and renewable energy? What is the difference?
Let me say that renewable energy is by default is a green energy. There is no emissions. There is no any consumption for the fossil fuel. Meanwhile, for the cleaner energy, we can differentiate between the fossil fuels, such as we can say that natural gas is more cleaner compared with heavy fuel oil. Heavy fuel oil, which is named in the street by mazut.
Yeah.
Also the natural gas is more cleaner compared with coal. Consequently, as much as we have a resource to generate electricity and it has low emissions of carbon dioxide and other emissions such as SOx and NOx and something like this, we can call it as cleaner. Meanwhile, for greener or renewable energy, such as hydropower, solar power, or solar energy, and also wind energy, in addition to others, such as tidal and many other renewable energy sources.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, in Egypt, we are enjoying with both, frankly speaking. We are enjoying with wealth under the ground, such as natural gas. Alhamdulillah, now we have huge explorations. The latest one is Zohr, and now we can notice that the redirection for more dependency on natural gas, not only for the industrial sector, but also for the residential sector, for also the mobile or the transportation sector. All of these initiatives represent or confirm the consistency of the new republic with the regulations, which is one of the most basic commitments that Egypt already committed and responsible to perform.
Yeah.
When we look for the renewable energy, alhamdulillah, we have almost more or all the potential hydropower already in Egypt, already exploited. All of these projects already installed, such as Haidam, Aswan Dam 1 and 2, in addition to some barrage on the Nile river passes. In addition to that, we have Benban Solar Complex, which is one of the international iconic model, represented a lot of challenges, and I think we can speak about it in more details in
yes, we'll be coming definitely to Benban, and because we know that Egypt has embarked actually on a major solar energy production scheme. This has been implemented of several projects among the last few years, including the Benban Solar Park in Aswan, and upon the completion, this is going to be the largest solar energy project in the world. We can see here this huge project that is going to be also making headlines, and definitely it is of real economic importance, and it is going to make a difference. Why Aswan, and why do you think Benban Solar Park in Aswan had attracted the attention of the world?
Before I am answering, let me thank you for such a question, because now we have a brand name called Benban. Wherever you go all over the world and say Benban Solar Complex, it is
well known. Yeah.
And also it is memorized by the coins already we are using.
Yeah, we can see here the character and the identity of the project.
From the starting point, Aswan is enjoying with high solar radiation, and also it enjoys with the hydropower represented by Haidam and Aswan Dam 1 and 2. And by hosting such a project, which is Benban Solar Complex, we can say that Aswan could became a capital for renewable energy all over the world. It hosts hydropower and also solar power. And from the implementation point of view, it is easy to implement one or two projects at the same time.
Yeah.
But for sure, it's a very complex process to implement 32 projects at the same time, at the same area. And you can imagine the different challenges that facing such implementation. We are speaking about more than 100 international companies are working in the same area. The total area is around 37 square kilometers. And you can see, by the way, from the airplane, when you go from Cairo to Aswan by the airplane, it is a fascinating view to see all of these plots filled with solar photovoltaic. We are speaking about financing more than $2 billion US. All of them came from the international and local financing institutions. And this represents a very positive message regarding the confidence of the investment environment in Egypt, the trust of the investment climate in Egypt. Especially we are speaking about projects will sustain for more than 20 years, almost 25 years.
Yeah.
Which means that all of those financiers are sure that all of this money will back again
will be a fruitful payback.
Exactly. In addition to that, we have more than 10,000 employees are working, starting from the early morning together, and by the end of the night, at the sunset, they back again to their homes. We can imagine the complexity and the challenge for having such logistics, the water supply, the sewage. You can imagine by the average number of containers to be received daily is around 500 containers per day. How could this process be managed and to be done in a safe way and to be also performed on time? This also represents, frankly speaking, the harmony among the governmental entities and the synergy which already built between the public sector, represented by the cabinet, the Ministry of Electricity and
the private
Energy,
sector,
and exactly, and the private sector.
Let us talk about this sense of collaboration between the public sector, the state, the role of the state and the private sector. In the next episode, we do have more to talk about. We do have more to talk about how Egypt is drawing a vision for the future regarding renewable energy. My guest of honor was Dr. Mohamed Khayat, head of the New and Renewable Energy Authority. And I thank you so much for joining Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein tonight.
Thank you very much.
Many thanks for watching, and stay with us for another episode where we are be highlighting more concerning the future of renewable energy in Egypt. Until next week, it's all the best.